All right, welcome back. We're talking about the Steelers. Next opponent will be the Rams. I'll get into the next three. But Ray, since you're there every single day with this team, I want to ask you about what Deontay Johnson's return means. And you know, to me, he's their best route runner.
Right.
Shouldn't they look to move the ball down the field more, especially in the middle of the field? They've ignored that again for the first 5 games. Largely.
Yeah, listen, Mike Sullivan talked about it this week. He wants Kenny Pickett to take the easy passes. He doesn't want him holding the ball, looking to make big plays all the time. And Deontay Johnson is perfect for that. He's going to be his first read on a lot of occasions. Get the ball to him, get it in his hands, make him make some plays. So, yeah, I think Deontay Johnson can help. I'm a little bit hesitant to say it's going to absolutely turn everything around because they were the same team last year when he played 17 games. But, yes, I think he can be a difference maker, just getting him the ball early and let him do stuff with his legs.
I'm not a fan. I think he's one of the most overpaid wide receivers in the entire NFL. Renfro's worse, actually. He's making the same money. I think he's caught like 5 balls all year. But what do I expect from Deontay Johnson? He drops balls. He runs backwards. He had no touchdowns last year. My biggest gripe with him in the offense last season is that they catered to him more than they did George Pickens.
Well, you just hit something very big. I think a big point right now is George Pickens believes he's the man. And he thinks he is the number one guy.
Let's fire him. He said all last year Johnson's the number 1 receiver.
Right. This is
they
a very good point,
stop acting
Andrew.
like that.
And this is now, how does George Pickens take somebody walking in and potentially just leapfrogging him in this offense? I think that it's going to be really interesting to see how George Pickens reacts to not being the big dog if Deontay Johnson gets his stake back at the top of the totem pole.
I think we're at the point now where George Pickens is going to get his fair share. I don't know if it's going to be equal 50-50, guys, but he's done a lot to prove that he belongs maybe as the number 1 receiver on this team, and I don't think Deontay Johnson's return is going to change that.
No, and that last touchdown showed that. You throw it up in the air, good things happen. Now let's talk about their defense because they have to correct some things. And, Ray, you hit upon it. They're very good at getting to the quarterback. They're very good at making turnovers and changing the complexion of games. But, Colin, they still give up lots of yards on the run, and Cam Hayward is not coming back for the next couple of games anyway. How do they change that?
You're asking me. I don't know. You know, the thing is that, granted, Baltimore dropped 1 million passes. They still only gave up 10 points, you know. So I don't know how they change things on the run. I think that they've gotten kind of what they wanted out of the inside linebackers. Obviously, you're getting out of the outside linebackers what you want, and the front is good. I don't know. Are they getting what they want out of Benton? Are they getting what they want out of the veterans?
My point was, you look at the tackles, you'll find you have to go all the way down to number 11 to find who are their top tacklers. It always starts with Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Right.
I like to see him doing different things that he's cut out to do that he's not doing. He's sort of cleaning up.
I think we had this thought, Ray, that he was Troy Polamalu when he walked into the city, and I don't know if he necessarily is in that regard at the scrimmage line.
Well, the issue is this happened in 2021 when they had a bad run defense. He only had 2 interceptions last year. Or 2 years ago. Last year, he had 6 when they were much better against the run. So he's at his best when he's playing center field, when he's reading the opposing quarterback's eyes. He's really good in that role. He cannot play that role right now. They need him to come up and make tackles.
And isn't this why, Andrew, he kind of wanted out of Miami because they had him too near the scrimmage line a lot of times?
Well, they had him playing nickel. That was a huge problem for him there. He wanted to be a deep safety. Other than Highsmith and Watt, I don't see another defensive player who's playing quote-unquote well, who's a starter. I mean, the inside linebackers are doing better now than they did at the beginning of the season, but as far as where my expectations were for the guys.
Minkah's fine. He's just in a bad position because
well, they got to change that then.
That's what I think.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I think they have to make him.
They make 2 changes.
This guy needs
got to be more of an Ed Reed type. And you've got to get Joey Porter on the field more. That's the other thing that has to happen for them.
Keanu Benton, too.
All right. Joey Porter, is he going to start this week, based on your knowledge?
No, Terrell Austin said earlier.
What's it going to take for him to start?
I mean, his passer rating against is
0.
Those other guys are struggling, too.
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. They don't want to throw him out there until he absolutely knows 100% the defense. I think that's still an issue. His tackling isn't great. I'm just telling you their words. I'm not saying one way or the other.
Didn't Mike Tomlin start Sean Spence, like, right out of the gate?
He started Terrell Edmonds and Devin Bush week 1.
I mean, honestly.
And listen, you're not going to bench Patrick Peterson, future Hall of Famer.
Why?
After 5 games.
But
you're not going to do it.
Should they?
I don't know that they should at this point. The ideal situation, Joey Porter's ready on the outside, Patrick Peterson moves inside. Patrick Peterson.
Well, how about just
plays
now a
different role.
rotation of some sort, right?
And
Just
they
to get
did
him
a
more on the field.
rotation against the Ravens, so they
Yeah.
could do that again.
All right, now we're talking about the next 3 games. Colin, start with you. You have the Rams. That's not going to be easy. You got 2 great receivers. They know how to scheme those guys open, too, so that might be interesting. Then you have home to Jacksonville, home to Tennessee on 3 days rest. How do you think the Steelers will fare?
1 and 2. They will win the middle game, Bob. Just how I feel about it. Yep.
1 and 2, they will win the Thursday night game against the Titans.
I think 2 and 1. I don't see them going to LA and winning. Rotation, what are they going to do against Nakua and Cup? Right. Okay, with those corners. I don't like that matchup at all for them. I think Jacksonville has a tendency to play up and down to the competition. So I'm going to pick them to win that game. That's right, they always beat the Steelers, but I think they're going to beat them this time. And I think it's a huge advantage getting Tennessee at home on a short week. The timing of that game.
See, that's the one I think they're going to lose. I think they could win 2.
Malik Willis is going to beat
my
Kenny
thing
Pickett.
is, I'm going to say they're going to lose at the Rams for the reasons you said.
Malik Willis ain't beating Kenny Pickett if you look like he did today.
But Derrick Henry can, and that's the thing. On 3 days rest, and you still don't have Hayward back. That's a physical game that lends itself, for Tennessee doing well, I think, anyway. So we'll see how it goes. We'll check the scorecard. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about what happened last night at Acrisure Stadium, where Pitt got a big upset over Louisville. It's one of those games, and they did it last night. We'll talk about how they did it, and Pat Narduzzi, did he wait too long?